Hey, it's Kelly, Wholesalers. Today I'm going to do a walkthrough video on a Rockwood Mini Lite 2509S made by Forest River. You can see here this does have the champagne exterior. It's going to have your power awning with the LED light strip. Outside speakers here. It's going to have a vent for over top of the range, which will escape the heat when you're cooking on the inside there. Also has a bracket on the outside for the TV. You just lift up on the bracket. You can see how it's kind of V'd here. Just lift up on the TV on the inside, and you can bring it out here and set it on this bracket. And then you have your receptacle there, cable hook up here. This is going to be the back side of your refrigerator. You just always want to leave this little bit of hose hanging out because it is auto defrost. It's going to drip out a little bit of moisture, water, what have you. There's a grill inside in the box. There's also a little tabletop in the storage compartment that sits on here. That's what this bar is for. So you can set your grill on here, tabletop on here, and there is a gas quick connect over here. So that'll just go right in there. Quick connect there, and that runs right off the existing propane bottles on the front of the coach. So you don't have to bring a separate bottle with your grill or what have you. You can just run it right off the propane tanks right up front. You're going to have the exhaust here for your furnace. A lot of times when you kick on your thermostat, turn your furnace on, you put your hands close to the ductwork on the inside, it won't be blowing hot air immediately. So if you're ever wondering if it's actually working, it's auto ignite. Just hold your hand close to this and that'll be blowing hot air immediately out of the exhaust. Right here you're going to have your water heater. It is going to be a 6-gallon gas electric DSI water heater, which means direct spark ignition. First thing you're going to want to do is, because the coach will come winterized, so there's no water in the systems right now. First thing you want to do, whether you're going dry camping or you're hooked up to water supply, what have you, just pop this lever out right here. So it's going to be down like that. Just pop it straight out. What that's going to do is it's going to release the air. As the water fills, if you leave that closed, it'll cause like a vapor lock. So you'll want to release that. And then once that starts pouring water out, all you're going to do is just shut that off. And then you can go ahead and light it up on gas or run it on electric. Now there is, right down here, you're going to see a little on-off switch with a little piece of white tape over top of it. That is going to be for the electric side. And these are your resets as well, kind of like breaker resets. You just push them if it pops. Okay, so gas switches on the inside, electrics on the outside. Triple entry step, those are going to fold up very easily. Just fold the bottom one up and lift up on that, and they fold right in. So very, very easy there. Friction entry door, so you can see you don't have to worry about putting the latch on the back and then it ripping off when the kid forgets to unlatch it, what have you. It's going to just, if it's a little bit breezy, you might just want to open it up so the wind doesn't catch it. Same way with your awning. If you want to pull in on this arm and then tighten this knob, if you want to put a little pitch to your awning and let the rain run off a little easier, you can do that as well. Also, you don't have to run it all the way out or all the way in. You can run it partially the way. Now once you see the tube up here, you can see the metal tube. You don't want to overextend it. So in the awning's not just a one push and then it goes all the way out. You hold the button down and then you can run it out as far as you want. So pretty cool feature. 4 stabilizer jacks, 1 on each corner. Those are just for stabilizing the coach. So like right now, you're going to see that the jacks aren't down. You can move this coach around a little bit. If you're walking in the inside, you'll feel the same kind of movement. So what you'll want to do once you get to your campsite, to level the coach front to back, you'll do that with your power tongue jack. To level it side to side, you'll put boards down and pull them up on the trailer. Then once you get it level, all you're going to do is come here, and a lot of times people use like a socket on a cordless drill, where you're just going to crank this down. It goes really easy. Once it hits the ground, go about another half crank, and that's it, just to firm it up. And crank it up when you're ready to leave, and you're good to go. Equalizer hitches in there, and this little job here is just for the override on the manual tongue jack. So for whatever reason, if that motor would happen to burn up, you can just pull this little rubber grommet off the top here, and you can crank that and manually raise and lower your tongue jack. Then you have the up and down here, and it has a light on the front, which is there. And other than that, it's pretty self-explanatory. Under here, you're gonna have your propane bottles. 2 30-pound bottles on this coach. And this is gonna be your auto changeover regulator. The first thing you're gonna wanna do whenever you get to wherever you're going, or even before, if you wanna run your refrigerator on gas while you're traveling, you can do that. turn both tanks wide open. Okay, then you can see whatever side this is pointing to. So right now it's pointing to this tank first with this little point here. It's going to pull from this tank first. Now if you have gas in the bottles, that little eye right there will be green, red if you don't. So assuming that when you fill them up, this will be green. And now say in the middle of the night this tank runs out, you come out in the morning and check it, this eye will be red. Now you didn't lose any gas because it automatically switches over and pulls from this tank. But then if you see that this eye is red, you just take this, turn it over, then you can close this one off and go get it filled up. Then essentially what you'll do is you'll just go back and forth from one tank to the other, just switching back and forth. But you don't ever have to worry about actually running out of propane because it automatically switches over for you. It's just when you pull one off, then you can go get it filled up. 12 volt deep cycle battery right back here. Now your battery is going to trickle charge anytime you're connected to your tow vehicle, if it's wired properly, or anytime you're plugged into Shoreline. Loading light here, little switch is right on the bottom of it. Over here you can see the other side of your pass-through storage. You got your silverware holder, you got your bags with your towel bars. This is going to be for the bar for your hitch. You have the cooktop out there for the grill. All magnetic latches, so you don't have to worry about flipping the little latch. You just set it up there and it holds it for you. Now right here is going to be your freshwater fill. So if you go to a campground and they don't actually have water hookup at your site, what you'll do is when you pull into the dump station, stick your garden hose in here, allow that to fill up, and then you're going to use your pump to pressurize the system. Essentially this is putting water into an onboard tank, and then you use your 12 volt pump to pressurize the water system. Okay, and then right down here you're going to see where it says freshwater drain. There's going to be a little white valve. That's to drain your freshwater tank, because you don't want to pull with water if you don't have to. It's just added weight. 30 amp power cord, which is here, and I'll show you where that plugs in on the side. Again, all magnetic latches, frameless windows. Does have the Wi-Fi Ranger, which is going to boost the signal strength for if you have Wi-Fi somewhere. So you're going to plug in your 30 amp power cord right here. It's threaded on the outside, has a little plastic, just thread it on there. And then there's going to be a light right here, because a lot of times people will say, well, I'm not getting any power to the camper. Well, always make sure that this light's lit up, because that'll notify you that you're actually getting power from the pole or the breaker's not tripped. This one here is going to be your city water connection. So basically what that is if you go to a camping spot and they have water hookup at your actual site, okay? So then you take your water hose, screw it into here. Always make sure you use a little water pressure regulator, which is going to reduce the PSI down to about 45 and keep it from bursting the lines, things like that. But then you won't have to use your pump, or you won't have to fill your fresh water tank. So this, if they have water at the campground where you're at, that one over there, if they don't have water at the camp spot, and you got to fill it up before you go. This is going to be an antifreeze inlet here, which if you pump antifreeze through the lines when you winterize, you just screw a little piece of hose on here, put it in the jug of antifreeze, turn your pump on, and it pumps it through the lines, okay? And this is going to be your black tank flush. I'll go over that in 1 second. Cable and satellite hookup are here. They're labeled right up above. Outside shower, hot and cold, has a little pull-out sprayer. The black tank flush, what that's going to be is right down here. So after you've been camping and you go to the dump station and you're going to empty out your tanks, first thing you're going to want to do, obviously pull the cap off, put your sewer hose on, run the other end and put it in the hole. And you can see there's two valves down here. One's a 3-inch pipe, one's an 1.5 inches, one's a black handle, one's a gray. So push them in to close them. Okay, so these are closed now. So then you hook up your hose. First thing you're gonna do is pull your black valve. So you're gonna pull it all the way out, and that's gonna run the black tank, which is just your toilet. All that waste is gonna run through. Let that run through for a few minutes there. While that valve's still open, you're gonna go up here and you're gonna hook your water hose to this. Let that run for about 15-20 seconds. What that's gonna do is it's gonna spray inside the black tank, clean off all your sensors, clean off any toilet paper, waste, debris, anything like that that might be in there. Then shut the water off before you close it, okay? And then you shut the water off, close it. Then you're gonna pull your gray valve, and that's gonna be your sinks in your shower, and what that's gonna do is finish rinsing out your sewer hose, okay? And just make sure this is on when you take off. That way the cops don't stop you. Does have a hollow bumper, so you can pull out these little plastic caps here. A lot of people store their sewer hose in the bumper. Full-size spare with cover. It is prepped for a backup camera there. You can see the ladder here for maintenance. It is a full walkable roof. Little outside kitchen here. All I did was just unpin that right there, and you just pull it out, and you can see you can repin it up here. Sink, which is plumbed in. You have a 2-burner cooktop. You have a mini fridge out here. It's on a full ball bearing drawer guide here. You can see that. Now this refrigerator is just 110, so it's not going to run off gas like your refrigerator on the inside. Just make sure that once you put this away, that you do latch it. That way it's not slamming up against this storage door when you're moving down the road. All right, we can go in and check out the inside and take a look around in there. Now this coach does have the Murphy bed option, which is a very, very nice feature. Gives you plenty of floor space in the coach, while you still kind of, when you're not using the bed, push it up, get it out of the way. And then when you are, obviously you can lay it down, and I'll show you how to do that, but it gives you plenty of room when you're not actually sleeping. So very, very nice feature. If you come over here, we can look at your monitor panel. So you can see everything's kind of spelled out for you. So interior lights, porch lights, scare lights, awning lights, the whole 9 yards. Now this is going to be your monitor panel, so you hold down the button and it'll let you know. Right now we're running just off the battery, so you can see it has come down a little bit. We have all the lights on, 2/3 charged. Fresh water is your fresh water tank, black's your toilet, gray's your sinks and your shower. Okay, and then to run your awning, all you're going to do is hold this button down, and if you look out there, you can see it comes in, and if I let off the button, it stops. So if it's really windy and you just want to have it out just a little bit, you can do that. You can kind of put it wherever you want. Now when you're running it out, as soon as you see that tube, like I told you earlier, just let off the button, then you'll see it hit the side of the trailer. You're good to go. Slide out buttons here. Now you will hear it does have a clutch on it. So when you hear that noise, that's no issue. That just means it's all the way out, and it'll do the same thing when you bring it back in. Now your awning and your slide rim, you can run off 12 volt, so you won't have an issue there. Water pump is here, so if you're running off your fresh water tank, you'll turn your water pump on. It is a 12 volt pump as well. It is on demand, which means you don't have to come over here and flip it on and off every time you want to use it. You turn the faucet on, the pump kicks on. You shut the faucet off, the pump kicks off, okay? Water heater, gas, and electric here. Now the electric, you still got to flip the switch on the outside. Gas, you just flip it here, automatically ignites, the whole 9 yards. Heat ducts are around the floor. AC is ducted through the ceiling. So you can see all these vents here are going to be AC ducts. TV antenna here, which you just rotate this to pick up the signal. Sink cover does, or stove cover, does have the glass stove cover, which is a nice flush, so you can use this as storage space as well. The first thing you're going to want to do once you get to where you're camping, after you've turned your propane bottles on, come here, turn all 3 burners on high, light them up, let those burn for about, I don't know, 15-20 seconds. What that's going to do is it's going to get any air pockets out of the lines to make sure when you go to run your refrigerator or your water heater on gas, everything functions properly. Okay? Microwave here, pretty self-explanatory. Light here, exhaust fan, television, get your AM, FM, CD, DVD there. Wi-Fi Ranger, which is here. Just turn that on, amplify your signal. Refrigerator is gas electric, so you turn it on there. Auto, which is going to search for 110 first. If it can't find 110, it automatically switches over to gas. Now, if you're traveling down the road and you know you're going to be running on gas, just pop that button out and run it on gas. Automatically ignites as well. Freezer on top, refrigerator on the bottom. Now this refrigerator will work just as well as your one at home. It takes a little bit longer to cool down. So it will take about 6 to 8 hours to cool down initially. So if you're going camping on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Thursday, go ahead and plug it in at your house. Let it start cooling down. That way you can go ahead and enjoy your trip and everything stays cold. 110 breakers are here, they're labeled here. 12 volt fuses are here, they're labeled over here. And then also you're going to hear a little fan blowing down there. I don't know if you can pick it up in a video or not, but that's going to be your converter, which is converting 110 down to 12 volt. That's just the blower to keep it cool. Over here's your thermostat, which is going to work just like yours at home. Set the temperature, move it over to heat, move it over to cool, and you're good to go. LP detector right down there. Okay, and here in the bathroom, you're going to have your grill in that box, skylight over the tub, and then your fan, all you're going to do on this is just pull down, crank it, and then the little buttons over here to turn it on and off. Foot flush toilet. So if you push down the lever, which is on this side, down about a 1/4 inch, what that'll do is we'll release some water, but it won't actually flush it. You always want to leave a little bit of water in there so it keeps that rubber seal nice and pliable. And then if you push it all the way down, it'll actually flush it completely. Okay? You're going to have a U-shaped dinette over here. I always travel with it in the down position like it is. Now these cushions do come off so you can make it into a bed as well. All hardwood cabinets. You can see that, very, very nice. Emergency exit window there. Come up here and I'll show you it does have a curtain to pull across to separate the master. The jackknife sofa here, all you're gonna do is lift up on the bottom and this will kind of fold flat. And then you're gonna come up here, unpin both sides. And you're just gonna pull down, then make sure you just don't pinch your hand in here because this is gonna lift up. So just kind of hold it right here. And then you can see the mattress is actually all strapped down and everything. And then to release it, all you're gonna do is pull on that, and then you're gonna lift it back up. Okay, so you pull here, lift up, and then pin it up above. You do have a charging station right down here, cigarette lighter, 2 USBs. You have a 110 receptacle there as well. All lights are going to be, if they don't have a switch, there's a button right in the center of the light. You just push it, turns it on and off. So you can see that right there. AC again is ducted through the ceiling. Solid surface countertops, very, very nice floor plan. It gives you the double over double bunks in the back, Murphy bed, big U-shaped dinette. Good bang for your buck, nice quality trailer. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to give us a call at 877-877-4494. Thanks a lot.